So this is Traders Talk Show episode 3. I welcome you all to Profit Nation community. We usually have Traders Talk Show every Friday by 8 p.m. We get to talk about some exciting things happening in the market or that happen in the market during the week, and also we get to talk about psychology and risk management and lots more. So the topic for today, I'm still your host Sanusi Dima. I'm going to be taking the topic for today: the courage to take your own trade, right? More like the courage to take your own analysis. And I'd like to start by giving us a quick story about um, someone I know, all right, in the Forex market. His chart is always good, but the guy lacks confidence to take his charts or his trades. And the reason is because um, he he don't really have, let's say, other group of people around him who are trading. Okay, so the guy lacks confidence to take trades. I know him. He usually comes to me in my inbox and tell me he did analysis. The analysis is going well, but then the market he didn't enter the market because he was scared. And you know the funny thing about this story is that the day he now decided to enter the market, that day will be a bad day. Probably market did not go to his favor that day. And the day if he's scared and he's not going into the market will go to his favor that day. So I'm going to be talking about the courage to take your own trade. Now, from the word courage, what it actually means in another word is confidence, conviction, right? When you have the boldness to go into something, when you have the boldness to take your own trade, when you have that confidence to take your own trade, all right? So it is the courage to take your own analysis. And I'm not going to be kidding you here. You really cannot have that courage enough to take your own analysis if you don't know how to analyze the market. Okay, so first of all, you must even know how to analyze your market very well, such that you will backtest your analysis a lot of time, okay, with a demo account. And that's why demo account is always available. So backtest your analysis a lot of times with the strategy you are trading. Make sure it is a good and clear strategy. The more simple your chart, the better you understand it. Don't forget that. The less a lot of things you draw on your chart, the more simple it is for you on the chart, the better your analysis. So when you are analyzing the market, ensure that you backtest that market very well. Now, after backtesting, let's say you backtest the market for a month or 2 months now. So the next thing you have to do is to take that boldness, right? I know a lot of people are scared of losing money, a lot of people are scared of, blowing accounts. If you really want to backtest your emotion along line, okay, take the boldness of funding like $5, $10. You are not growing this money, you don't have intention to grow it. You just want to backtest your analysis on a live chart. Okay, I've done this. Okay, this is how I know that you can also do it. You backtest your analysis on a live chart, no matter how small it is. Just try it for 1 month, try it for 3 months, try it for 3 weeks, 2 weeks. If you notice it works, then all you need now is you have a good strategy that work. The only thing you will be needing is a big and a good capital. All right. So I know some few traders who are currently in this level. Their strategy is good, everything is okay, but they need capital. So sometimes you don't have that boldness or courage to take trades if you have not actually backtest your trades or analysis on a demo account first, and second step on a live account. But let the live account be a small account, maybe $10, $15. Don't go and deposit big money to backtest. No, have a little capital to backtest. So you really know whether this particular type of analysis work for live accounts or it doesn't work for live accounts. And I'm also not going to be doing this without talking to you about risk management. You see, other things that make traders scared of entering their own trades, okay, where they lose the courage and boldness to take their own trade is because of risk management. If you have failed in it several times, it will be hard for you to believe in your trades. Do you get? If you have analyzed the market, you've entered the market and you have failed in it, the market kicked you out several times, it will be difficult for you to enter that market again next time. Why? Because probably you didn't use a good risk management. And so sometimes you can have a very, very bad week. Doesn't mean you have a bad month. Sometimes you can have a bad month. Doesn't mean you have a bad year, right? So sometimes in Forex, you can have a bad week. Meanwhile, the other 3 weeks in the month might go well. So what if the week you made your deposit, that's the week that market is not favorable to you, and then you are using high risk? You get to blow off your money before the next week when markets will turn favorable to you. Right? And you usually notice that after you have blown your accounts, then when you are trading your demo, all the analysis you are using to trade your demo usually go fine. And you're wondering, how come I'm trading demo fine and I can't trade real life accounts? Most time is because the week you are coming into the market with your life accounts, that week might be a bad week, such that it might be a ranging week. Market might be ranging where you are bringing in your life accounts. When you're trading trends, you might be using demo. As funny as it sounds, this is what usually happens. Some weeks when market is trending, that's where you are trading, you are backtesting on your demo. When you now want to backtest on your live account, probably market is ranging in that week. And then you test it, it didn't work, and you give up on it. No, manage your risk. If you're able to manage your risk, you will not blow your account. At least you will still have it for other weeks, for other months. All right, so I hope I've been able to pass my message clear. Is anyone hearing me? If you can hear me, just say something and ask me your question along the line as you have. Right? Ask me your question along the line as you have. Now, another point is that you also need to have a mentor, a coach, somebody that guides you somehow. We cannot overrule that out. You need somebody that will believe in you. You need somebody that will tell you, yes, your market is good. Go on with it. I have my students many times when they analyze market and show it to me. Some of them I make comments on their analysis. Some of them I don't make comments on the analysis. Now it is not being biased. I mean, some of them, some of the charts I make comments, some of the charts I don't make comments. Now, the ones I make comments, I don't discourage anyone. I don't tell anyone this analysis is bad, change it. No, I can only just suggest. Look at this area. Have you taken a have you pictured? Have you looked at this price? Have you looked at this area? Do you get? So you need somebody that will encourage you in what you are doing, even when your analysis is not totally 100% right. You still need someone that will give you suggestion instead of someone that will talk you down. Okay, I remember in our last episode, I really talked about this when someone asked a question uh, regarding this. So I talked about just that you need to surround yourself with positive minds, people that believe in your trade, people that believe in your analysis. Even if your analysis is not 100% correct, don't be in a cycle where they talk down on your style of trading. Okay, it's going to actually drop down your confidence level and you will not have the courage to take your own trades because you always believe that your own trade is not going to work. These big guys we know out there, let me tell you guys something. The big guys, these guys we know out there, sometimes they drop their trades on their status in their group, and I see it. They might tell their group that they are selling markets. Why me? I'm buying. I'm telling my own group that I'm buying. Do you get? So sometimes market go to their direction. Other times market go to my own direction according to my analysis. So it is not about don't be in a cycle where someone will talk down your analysis, talk down on how you trade. Be in a cycle where someone will either encourage you or someone will either just make a suggestion and ask you to have another view for maybe a higher time frame or check a 1 hour time frame. Not somebody that when you send charts, if you say you don't know what you are doing, market is supposed to say, you are buying, you're not a good trader. No, you don't need to be in such cycle, right? Don't be in a negative environment, else it will disturb your trading a lot of time. All right, so guys, that's that I have for today's topic. All right, if you have any question, please ask your question before we go to other things and other matter for the day, such as what has been happening currently in the market globally. We've been seeing it on JPY. We have also seen it in crypto. We are seeing it everywhere. So we are going to be talking about that and getting us prepared for what is ahead of us. All right. And I'm going to be telling you guys how I usually stay prepared ahead of what I am stay prepared ahead of what we have in our front. Guys, the topic that I want us to talk about right now is recession, right? Over the last 1 week plus, we've seen significant decline and significant drop in the crypto market. So it may surprise you to know that Bitcoin fell about 30%, and other markets, of course, fell nearly 60%. Some went 70% drop. All right, so which actually was a very, very drastic moment for a lot of crypto investors. So I'll be talking about what happened and how we can stay prepared. Besides, if you have not started buying crypto yet, well, I think crypto has decided to give another fair opportunity or chance for you to get in before it is too late. So you might want to give a try or try your best to get in before it is too late. You can do what we call DCA, dollar cost average. Simply when you are entering the market, let's say you have $1,000, you decide to just start investing from $100. You have $1,000 in your account. You don't deposit the whole $1,000, right? You make a deposit of $100 first. As market is going either good or a bit bad, you make another $100 deposit. You just keep stacking it up until you are done stacking a lot of bags, right? Now, what happened in the market last week was caused by a lot of factors. First of all, we can relate it to recession, right? If we don't understand what recession means, I'm going to give us a little and a flashlight of the term recession. All right, so recession is usually defined when there's a global decline of GDP, right, of different nations, different country. When there's a global decline of GDP, gross domestic product, right, and where investors begin to lose interest of investing, and a lot of different causes of recession, right? A lot of things cause recession, which I'm going to be, making mention of, and then I'll tell us what we can do during this period of time, right? And sometimes recession usually lasts for months. We had a drastic market crash in 28, and since then till now, this is another time where we've had a little bit market crash, right? We've seen it in the news where we heard that about $1.2 trillion was wiped off from the market. That's a lot of money, Abby. It's a lot of money. So some of the causes of recession is when, like I said, you see decrease in GDP of nations, unemployment, cost of industrial production, and a whole lot of things are the reasons why recession come to play. And during recession, of course, expect high news, high impact news, such as war and many others. Okay, because war or outbreak of a certain virus usually lead to recession because it pauses the production, industrial production of different sectors, especially the manufacturing industries. So these are the causes of recession. Now let's talk about what happened in JPY. All right, because it felt like what happened in JPY pair was also happening to other pairs simultaneously. We've heard, okay, that Warren Buffett pulled all his almost half of his cash to almost half of his investment from asset to cash, making him to hold about 260 something, 200 nearly $270 billion in cash. Right, that's unknown of Warren Buffett. So, and we also heard that he's currently stacking a lot of T bills, treasury bills, right? So he's one of the largest holder of treasury bill. That's a whole lot, right? So look at what the man is doing. So he's just playing the global finance game. So when he makes profit, he pull it out, invest in another. When he makes profit, he pull it out, invest in another. Now let's talk about that. So before I drop my own point, I'd like to hear from us. Anyone know about this recession and all these stuffs? So you can make a contribution before I continue. I'm waiting for any wave of hand. Especially let's talk about the JPY. What happened in Japan? Anyone available? Okay, so someone is raising his hand. Thank you, Leah. I'm going to accept you. You're not a speaker. Go ahead. You're not a speaker. You can just unmute your mic and you'll be allowed to
Okay.
speak. Thank
Good
you.
evening, guys. Good evening, sir. I just unmuted. How is today? How was the trading week? All right. I'm not going to say too much on the recession. My knowledge is a bit limited, but of course, I know it's a period of opportunity to make money. So, the what motivated me to speak, actually, I didn't intend to speak today, but it's because you mentioned the JPY that I decided to speak. Because all right, I will just focus on the JPY. Over the years, since when I started Forex trading, down from demo, in fact, from my introduction, JPY has been on a long time uptrend for a very long time. So, but then recently, about 5 weeks ago, everything changed. You will look for buy. I will look for buy in the market. Almost market is going down. So I later decided to research what's happening with the Japanese economy, and I discovered that for the first time in over 10 years, they increased their rate. They increased their interest rate. The Bank of Japan increased interest rate, and by so doing, it uh, it increased the value of their currency with respect to the USD. And as it's doing that, I may not explain exactly explain to detail what really happened and why Japanese stock is crashing. It's not just Japanese stock, actually. The entire whole global market is going down. So part of the major reason for the crash of their stock market is because the currency is rising and is negatively affecting investors. So they are pulling out their money. So this singular act of increasing interest rate have significantly shift the dynamics of the JPY pairs. GBP JPY has been flushing down, or USD, everything that has to do with JPY has, sorry, has been going down. Anyway, based on my view of the fundamentals and everything, I feel like we are getting towards the peak of the rising value of the yen. Is going to stabilize a bit, especially with the confirmation by the Bank of Japan that they are not going to increase rate any further within the foreseeable future. So there's a bit of stability from that angle. So market is going to try and find a stable region, a stable zone within the region we are. And that has really, for people that discovered that early, it has been an opportunity to do something. But those are kind of things that really, really shake the currencies around the world. So that's all I would say about recession. I won't say anything. Let me just leave it for now. Next time. Thank you.
All right, all right. Thank you very much. Yes, thank you. You talked about the JPYs. So for so long, let's like over the last so many years actually, maybe like 5 to 10 years, JPY has been moving towards the upward direction. And as I heard and I read, all right, so the news that came out as I heard and as I read is that they have increased interest rates. And whenever interest rate means the term interest means what you pay on whatever you loan, right? So now that they have increased interest rates, a lot of investors can no longer meet up. So what they have to do is to swap their asset back to cash. And as a lot of them did that, many of them did that towards, especially those in the Japanese axis, right? That environment. They swapped a lot of their assets to cash because they couldn't pay up principals or pay back the loan because of the interest rate was high. They will not be able to pay back. And you know, Warren Buffett being a very smart man also had to contribute to this. All right, so yeah, thank you very, very much, Ilya. You've done amazingly well. I appreciate you for contributing. Now, let's talk about recession. Like I have said, causes of recession are economic shocks, like whatever has to do with the global economy or nationwide economy, all right, that affect that economy. Whatever affects an economy usually leads to recession. It needs to be tackled fast. If not, it will lead to recession. All right. Now, one of the causes of this particular recession, as per forecast, is financial crisis, such as what just happened last week or so. It's what will lead to this upcoming do we call it upcoming now or incoming or present recession? The recession that's going to happen, okay, is triggered by financial crisis. There are other causes of recession, right? Such as war, natural disasters globally. Why? Because it stops production, it stops current, the flow of finance around. All right. And the flow of finance around generally is being stopped, holistically it stops, it will lead to recession. Other causes of recession is increase in interest rate, which can lead to decline in investment. Because if people are not investing in assets, making investment, there'll be recession. All right. If interest rate is being increased, businesses will not be able to borrow money. Individuals will not borrow money to finance business. And therefore, it will slow down investment rates, okay, leading to recession. Other causes of recession are like government policies, global factors. I've made mention of these things since. Um, So these are the causes of recession. Right now, we are at the early stage of recession. Okay, and that's why I had to bring this here on board for us to talk about it. We are at the early stage of recession, and it is very, very needed that we take opportunity of this recession. I heard Warren Buffett saying every recession is a new beginning to create new billionaires. From Warren Buffett. Every recession is a time to create new billionaires. Why? Because markets, or most markets, most markets will fall and correct. And at that point where all markets are down, that's the best time to buy and invest. But you have to do this investment wisely because not all markets will come back to limelight. So I'll be talking about that one shortly, right? I'll be talking about the kind of business you should move into during recession that will profit you. Okay, not all businesses will work during recession because recessions shut down a lot of things. Okay, recession leads to business failures, increase in unemployment, financial instability, a lot of things. So I'm going to be talking about the kind of business you will do during recession that will profit you. So the number one business that you can do during recession that will profit you, well, If you are not yet into this, then you might consider it as a good business to move into, is food, agriculture, right? Over the period of long time, whenever there's a recession, it don't usually have high effect, okay, high effect on agriculture. I'm not saying prices of food will not go up. Of course, price of food will also skyrocket or might decline. But then, if you are doing, business in foods, in agriculture, anything, agriculture or beverages, you will actually make profits and make money from it. Because no matter what, whether there's recession or not, people are going to eat food. Whether people are rich or poor, they need food to survive. All right. So if you are doing this kind of business, you will actually be able to help yourself out from recession. Another kind of business that I recommend is healthcare, or let's say personal care, caring for, selling, let's say, health products related to healthcare or personal care products like soap, toothpaste, those stuffs. People will want to look good during that period of time. Okay. And maybe healthcare giving or healthcare generally, where you have to attend to people in the hospital and all of that. So these are like the few sectors that I recommend during recession. I would have loved to talk about real estate, but not too many people have the money to move into real estate, to have real estate investment. So I'm not going to be talking about that one here. I'm going to be talking about doing food business or healthcare business during recession. All right. So I hope we have learned something. And if you are here and you feel like I don't want to do any of these things that you've made mention of, I just want to invest my money somewhere. All right. So then make sure you invest your money in gold. During recession is one of the best times to invest your money in gold. You know why? A lot of people are going to be switching up their other assets to gold, and because of the factors that causes recession, such as war, government policies, decline in investment, a lot of people are going to find gold very attractive, right? And the moment gold become attractive, then gold become a demand asset. And at that point, it will start skyrocketing if um, there's already demand around it. A lot of people start buying gold at that point. So it's always good you go into gold on time before every other person come into it. So that's the rule of investment. As an investor, get to the market on time before everybody. When everybody is in the market, leave the market. When nobody is in the market, get to the market. Are we clear? I hope I passed that message correctly. As a smart investor, get into the market first before everybody else. And the moment everybody else is coming into the market, that's when you are supposed to leave the market with your profits and look for another new market to get into. You just repeat this cycle again and again and again. So I've learned this from Warren Buffett, and I taught it twice to come teach us here. So, guys, thank you very much for being in the part of this Trader Talk Show today. Like we say, we started from talking about the courage to trade your own analysis. Okay, and I say you have to first of all have the good knowledge of technical analysis. You have to backtest your analysis a lot of time. You have to stay in a community where you have people encouraging you. You need to have a mentor, a coach. Stay around positive minds, okay, and also work on your risk management. So, guys, I like to call it a day here, and we'll be having. Don't forget on Friday, on next week Wednesday, we are going to be trading CPI live by 1:30 p.m. That's like on the 14th of August. So prepare your mind, invite your friends to be here on that day. We're going to be trading CPI live. The individuals, the guys that traded NFA with us live last week or so, they can testify, right? So next week, Wednesday, let's trade CPI live and let's make some money. So with this, guys, I'm going to say have a lovely weekend. This is being recorded. After this, once we end it now, I'm going to send the record version to the group, and then we can listen to it over and over again and pick some points. I also encourage you to try to do your own research. You might want to choose other option of investment from the ones I have listed here, right? You might want to get into crypto as well. Then I recommend for you Bitcoin or Ethereum as investment for you to jump into. So guys, have a lovely weekend. I'm ending the meet now. Bye.